He said that he is my damn mans, but he switched on me like a transformer. Yeah, he changed. Nigga, you gon' get your ass changed. Don't get your ass with hey. Had to run my damn bands up.
So I have a very special video here for y'all today. I need y'all to hit the like button down. Now, we got 22 badges here. I know it says 21, but just count it as if we had 22. And you can either go with Clutch Shooter Hall of Fame, Quick Draw Hall of Fame, or Difficult Shots Hall of Fame. I know many people have different options in what they would choose, but here is the best badge setup for 22 badges. So the first badge we have here is Clutch Shooter. Now, why would I tell you to use Clutch Shooter? This badge gives you a big boost starting from 14 points on all of your shots. Now, as a guard, right, you see the meta this year, right? Everybody knows how everyone plays this year. The guards, when you're behind screens, right, doing dribble moves behind screens and you're already in a tight game, this Clutch Shooter is going to give you a big boost on your shots when you actually create that space. Now, we remove Deadeye because in this game, if you watch any guard that plays, they utilize screens. Even if you ISO, you can create a lot of space in this game with that behind the back. And just with like hop steps, breaking ankles, you can create a lot of space. So Deadeye is not needed when you're a guard. Deadeye is more so for pure sharps, like a 3-level scorer, like my build. Because when I create that space, I'm not as fast as a guard. So players have more time to catch up. But when I have Deadeye on Hall of Fame, it negates that. So you guys have to understand, these badges this year, they're in combinations. Most guards use Deadeye, and it's like, bro, why are you using Deadeye when you're using screens? It makes no sense. Your goal is just to create the space with your high ball handling as a guard. So which badge is good? Clutch Shooter. Once you create that space, if it's a close game and you're wide open, you get a big boost, so you're basically going to knock down and get a green. Okay, we're not done off of Clutch Shooter yet, but let's touch up on it. We have Difficult Shots on Gold. When you create space, you got to go to the corner and hit those difficult shots. This badge is always like a must for a guard on Gold because those shots come in, especially in comp games, especially when you're playing against good people, and they're crucial. Most people would take difficult shots off, but then in game realize like, yo, if I had difficult shots, I would have hit that. In reality, everybody's just mad that they nerfed difficult shots a little bit, but I feel like they're going to nerf it back. Buff it back and actually give us more consistent difficult shots in the mid-range area. The 3 was cool. You know, they nerfed it to 3. I understand. That's you know, do what you do, 2K. On to the next badge. Green Machine on Hall of Fame. Now, in this game, it's fairly easy to green. If you know how to create the space, and if you know your jump shot, you're going to green a lot. Green Machine is one of the best badges in the game because it just gives you a big boost once you're greening. And greening in this game is not like a hard thing to do. So if you're greening your jump shots, this badge on Hall of Fame is going to give you a big boost. That's why everybody uses Green Machine. It's like one of those badges that's like, yeah, throw Green Machine on. It's one of the best badges because it gives you such a big boost. Even builds that's like playmaking slashers use Green Machine because it'll help them get that big boost to their shot even if they're not a big shooter like that, you know, or a super OD shooter. Now, Quick Draw on Gold. Why do I say Quick Draw on Gold? And it's only because if you like your Quick Draw on Hall of Fame, do what you do. But I realized even if I know how to time Quick Draw on Hall of Fame, but having it on Gold just makes your shot way more consistent because you're not going too fast. And it keeps it at the same medium speed. Sometimes Quick Draw Hall of Fame, you get certain little animations in weird spots on the court, or depending on what animation you're coming out of. That's why I don't use Quick Draw Hall of Fame. I don't know if it's a bug that 2K has in it or what, but I know that Gold works way better. It's way more consistent. Then we have Range Extender on Hall of Fame. Remember, Range Extender is everywhere on the court. It's not just deep half-court shots. With 22 badges, these are your best badges right here. And last but not least, we have Volume Shooter on Hall of Fame. Now look, what badges are all working together? Volume Shooters working together, Range Extenders working together, Green Machine is working together. then you have clutch shooter. Okay, so let's say before clutch shooter activates, when we're at like 13-10 points, when we're in the beginning of the game, what badges are all working? Green machine, volume shooter, and range extender, gold quick draw. These are the only badges that you need. If I was to tell anybody what badges should they use, it's just green machine, range extender, and volume shooter. Those are the most crucial badges. Now, why don't I have hot zone hunter in here? You guys know 2K have recently just dropped the patch, right? And they changed how good the badge was because they changed the way how you get hotspots now. So let me tell you about the hot zone hunter badge and why it's going to be useless and what they did. 2K made a big mistake, but I see through a lot of mistakes. I see through a lot of company flaws. Now, hot zone hunter, right? Listen to the name, hot zone hunter. Not hot zone everywhere, hot zone hunter. Now, when the game first started, it was easy to get your hot zones everywhere. So that badge is basically useless. If you have your hot zones everywhere, if every player can just get their hot zones everywhere, then you just have a super OP badge that just activates all the time. But I know 2K meant to have that badge to where you have your hot zones in certain places, and then you have to go hunt your hot zones down and shoot in your hot zones to make it more skillful. So 2K ran into a bump right there, and they got the backlash from the community. Like, oh, we don't like this badge. We don't like that you guys did that. Revert it back. Make it the same. And they're realizing, like, wait, them having this badge on Hall of Fame is going to come up every time if they have their hot zones. Shit. And it was just in the lab now, wondering, like, what can we do? This is why they made the change, people. You got to understand. Why else would they make it? Everybody and their mama was using hot zone hunter. So now that this badge is limited now, it's still a good badge, but I wouldn't recommend it over none of these other badges. Volume shooter helps you. From your first shot you take, volume shooter starts to activate, especially on Hall of Fame. You're getting a good boost even when you're missing. I rarely go cold in 2K unless I'm just spamming stealing the ball from somebody and getting foul calls and just doing dumb stuff. I rarely go cold just because of this badge, even if I miss a certain shot. This badge is keeping you in the game. Having this at Hall of Fame is keeping you in the game. Now think about this. If you're a guard, right, and you're doing all that dribbling behind screen, you're a comp guard, whatever you want to say, and you have this badge, volume shooter Hall of Fame, you're already boosted super high. Then you have green machine, so you're going to be greening, and then when it's in a tight game, not even tight, when it gets to 14 points, clutch shooter is activated, and you're going to be shooting like Curry. You guys have to understand, a badge like Deadeye, you don't need that unless you're spot up sharp. You know you're going to get shots off a little late, and people are going to get late contest on you. That's what Deadeye's for. But when you're a guard, if you're an ISO guard, if you claim that you can bake somebody, you can create space, you don't need that badge. Catch and shoot, you're not going to need that. Guard shoot, catch and shoot shots without it. Catch and shoot works better at half court, you know, like when you're getting a catch and shoot at half court. And I shoot those, you know. It's so deep. It's so much deep stuff. Like, it's so much for me to talk about. People don't understand this. But look, let's say you don't have that much badges, right? The best badges to work between is green machine, range extender, and volume shooter. Your quick draw must always be gold. Your second badge to knock out the way is range extender. Get it on Hall of Fame. It will let you be able to shoot everywhere on the court. Even if you want to go with it on gold, if you got skill like that, you can do what you want to do. But I say Hall of Fame because it's not just for half court, it's everywhere. It's not just half court, it's everywhere. 2K still hasn't went deep and explained why they made it like that, but it's everywhere. Then volume shooter. Now, when you have 22 badges, get volume shooter on Hall of Fame. It's going to help you all throughout the game shooting. So your playmaking badges, creating all that space and then shooting with these badges, the top shooting badges. Clutch shooter is a top shooting badge. Green machine is the top shooting badge. Volume shooter, I would say, is the best badge, the best shooting badge in the game. Why do I say that? Because there's no negatives to it. There's a negative to every badge. Green machine, if you don't get greens with green machine, it's not going to work. Range extender, if you don't know how to create the space and utilize the range properly, it's not going to work. Clutch shooter, if you don't get off a good shot with the badge, you see what I'm saying? Volume shooter, there's no negatives. This badge is just helping you miss or make, which makes it overall the best badge in the game, no matter what anyone says. And you gotta think about it. If you're in the 80s for a three-pointer, volume shooter is gonna help you over time. Think about it. If you're a guard, think about how many shots you take a game, even if you're missing, even if you're getting clamped up. Let's say, think about it. Just think about that. How many shots you actually take a game as a guard? A lot. So you're gonna have a big high boost by the end of the game shooting with this badge. Think about that. Volume shooter is basically the microwave badge for shooting this year. Okay, there's no going cold when you have this badge on Hall of Fame, especially when you know how to shoot well. Hit the like button down if you guys want any more videos like this, or I'm showing you the best badge setup for a certain amount of potential points that you have. Let me know in the comment section below. Try this out and let me know how you feel.